Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video today we're going to be going over the Stamina Nightblade video for the old school style. Very easy to get, and as always, if you'd like to see more casual builds like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, anyways, we have 17.5k max health, 35.1k max stamina, 1.2k stam recovery. Now it is a good idea to keep in mind I am an Imperial, so I do get that extra boost at max health and max stamina. If you want to min-max, Orc is going to be your number one DPS for stamina, followed by Dark Elf and Khajiit at 2 and 3, and then you're going to have your Red Guard, your Wood Elf, and your Imperial. All three of those are really close to one another. So, I have 24 points into stamina. My weapon damage is 2.6 unbuffed, and my weapon crit is 58 even. Now, boon I'm running is the Shadow, and the food I'm running is the Dubious Greymoor. Champion points, I have 23 into Warlord, 25 into Sprinter, 19 into Bashing Focus, 64 Tenacity, 64 Mooncalf, 44 Shadow Ward, 31 Tumbling, 29 Physical Weapon Expert, 48 Master at Arms, 40 Thermometer, 66 Precise Strike, 23 Piercing, 64 Mighty, 31 Ironclad, 38 Spell Shield, 36 Medium Armor Focus, 64 Hardy, 64 Elemental Defender, and 37 Quick Recovery. So, that is the basis for most of my champion points. Now, sets. The first set that I'm running is Viper. Viper comes from Fungal Grotto 1. It is extremely easy to farm if you want to. Let me go ahead and throw this on back bar real quick. It's very easy to farm. It's very easy to get. This dagger is a named dagger. It comes in sharpened, and you can get this from Fungal Grotto 2, and you get it from the second boss, the one that pins you down, or shadows to come out. It comes in sharpened. You can have two of them if you want to. They're very easy. So you can just transmute one and have another one sharpened if you want to do the dual daggers, or if not, you'll have the axe is about the only thing that does not come named. But and we're running an infused axe with Absorb Stamina enchant on it. Now, I do believe that the dagger, I have an Oblivion enchant on it. It does 2.2k Oblivion damage, but you can always put poison on here as well. I think when I got this, it came with the Oblivion enchant, and overall, that's just more damage than the poison. I think the poison on their weapon is like 1.9, I want to say, where the still's 2.2. So I just kind of left it alone. Now also, if you prefer to go the two-handed route, there is a two-handed greatsword called Debaser. It comes in sharpened. It also drops in Fungal Grotto 2, and it comes from the spawn of Mephala boss. It's the one where she pulls you into the cave. So, you can get a two-handed named greatsword that way as well. And also, the jewelry is really easy to farm too. Not only is Fungal Grotto 1 extremely short, but the very first boss you come across, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Taz, he can drop a named necklace, which is called Huntsmaster's Leash, and he can drop the Taskin's Band, which is a named Viper ring. So you can literally get two different pieces of named jewelry off of him. He's the only one that drops named jewelry outside of in Fungal 1 and Fungal 2. Mephala's Fang, the very first boss as well, can drop a named necklace of Viper as well. So, like I said, weapons here. Back bar, we're using a Maelstrom Bow infused with a weapon damage enchant. Increase the damage volley deals by 430 each tick. The bonus increases by 143 every time volley ticks up to a maximum of 8 stacks. Now, I guess I should go over what Viper does, so before I get ahead of myself. So what this does is it gives you weapon crit, max stam, weapon crit, and when you deal damage with a melee attack, you deal an additional 7.9k poison damage over 4 seconds. This effect can occur once every 4 seconds. So we're running this on our weapons and our jewelry. It's robust, all with weapon damage enchants. Now, your back bar, Maelstrom. The Maelstrom Bow drops on normal Maelstrom Arena now. It's very easy to run, so I included it here. If not, there is not a bow of the Viper. You will not get one. They did not have one for the Viper set. So you can either run weapons in the second 5-piece set, or you can just throw whatever bow you want on the back bar. If you want something with more defense, you can go with that. Or if you want something with a little more extra HP or a little more crit, doesn't matter. It's up to you. You can even throw mechanical acuity on the bow in the back bar. As long as it's infused with a weapon damage enchant on it, you'll be okay. Now, the monster set that we're running is Crags. We're running a heavy Divines with max stamina and a medium shoulders. We do want this Divines, but it is an MPM with max stamina. What this does is it gives us physical penetration, and when you deal damage, you have a 10% chance to spawn drag limbs that create shockwaves in front of you, dealing 1.7k physical damage every 0.4 seconds for 1.2 seconds. This effect can occur once every 3 seconds. I really like this because you are up close and personal, so I really do enjoy this. Other sets, Celine's, it's really nice as well. You're going to want everything in Divines with max stamina. And what the Celine's would do would give you max stamina, and then while you down melee damage as well, you have 15% chance calling a Primal Spirit that mauls the closest enemy in front of you after 1.3 seconds for 16.8k physical damage. This effect can occur once every 4 seconds. Stormfist, of course, again, you would want this in Divines. Would give you stem recovery, and when you deal damage, you have a 10% chance to create a Thunder Fist to crush the enemy, dealing 1.8k shock damage every 1 second for 3 seconds to all enemies within 4 meters, and a final 10.7k physical damage when the fist closes. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds. The shock damage dealt from this set bypasses spell resistance. So this comes from Tempest Island, which is a relatively easy one. Foam Grotto 1 is extremely easy on Vet, and Celine's is Celine's Web on Vet. Can be kind of complicated, but not so much. Now, if you can get through March of Sacrifice, Balrog's Mask is a pretty solid set on a Sam Nightblade as well, because it's going to give you weapon damage, and when you use an ultimate ability, you gain weapon and spell equal to the amount of total ultimate consumed and physical spell penetration equivalent to 23 times the amount for 12 seconds. So this would give you a lot of weapon damage and a lot of spell damage, because the ultimate that we used runs about 74, I want to say, somewhere between 70 and 76 ultimate. So you're going to get about 140 to 152 extra weapon damage plus pen. So, or 23 times that's physical pen. I'm not doing the math. If y'all want to, by all means, go for it. But this is a nice little set to have as well. But Crags is pretty standard starting out. Plus, you can also use Crags in game as well. So, the second 5P set that we are running is Red Mountain. This comes from, it's an overland set. It comes from Stonefalls. Running a chest, waist, bracers, legs, and boots, all in Divines, all with max stamina. Now, the reason why this is an old school set, I've used this for a very long time. That's the reason why some of these pieces are golded out and others are not. The ones that are golded out are the ones I got back when it used to drop in a trial called Hell Raw. Now it is an overland set. So, and what this does, it gives you weapon damage, max stamina, weapon crit, and when you deal damage with a weapon, you have a 10% chance to spawn a volcano that erupts after 1 second, launching liquid hot lava at the closest enemy, dealing 9.6k flame damage. This effect can occur once every 2 seconds. This goes off quite a bit, honestly, more than I thought it would. But it still goes off quite a bit. Now, like I said, Vipers, you don't have a bow. So if you wanted to, you can run, weapons and just run a couple body pieces in Divines. If you want to do that instead, and you want an easy time farming weapons, the Matron Clutch boss in Stonefalls, I think I have been around there. That boss is right up here. It's right up there. It's a blue crab. It's Blue Claw Matron is the name, and it will drop a name bow called Natch's Hunter's Bow of the Red Mountain, and it comes in Decisive, so you will have to transmute if you want it infused, or if you're cool with Decisive, it'll give you more ultimate in the end. And then also at the Shivering Shrine world boss, which I think might actually be this one. No, wherever it is, that will drop a named dagger that is infused, which is real nice. That is a pretty solid trait called Mad Caller's Blade of the Red Mountain, and that's a dagger. So you can still get the bow and the dagger name drops from a couple world bosses, and then I'm pretty sure as you're farming them, there's a good chance you can get the axe. Or if you want to go with a two-hander, you can just do the quest that's right here, right outside the gate, and you get a named battle axe. I want to say the battle axe is infused. It's either infused or sharpened, but that's still a pretty solid trait. So all you gotta do is help free them, and then as you go up, you'll kill the little thing on the platform, and you'll get as a reward is the battle axe of the Red Mountain. So still very easy sets to farm and get, no matter which way you want to go about it. So now skills. Our main spammable is surprise attack. Slash an enemy dealing 8.5k physical damage. If you are flanking the enemy, shred through a small portion of their armor, reducing their physical resistance by 5% for 10 seconds. Attacking with surprise attack from the flank stuns the enemy for 3 seconds and sets them off balance. Now, for the most part, you're going to get that physical resistance, but we're not going to be really stunning too many enemies with this. And then running slashes are dot. Slice an enemy with both weapons cause deep laceration, dealing 2.6k physical damage with each weapon, causing them to bleed for an additional 8.4k physical damage over 10 seconds. You also reduce their movement speed by 30% for 4 seconds. Now this is one of our buffs, Relentless Focus. Focus your senses for 1 minute, reducing your damage taken by 2% with every light or heavy attack up to 5 times. While active, hitting an enemy with 5 light or heavy attacks converts this ability into Assassin's Scourge, allowing you to fire a spectral arrow for half cost that deals 15.8k disease damage and heals for 33% of the damage dealt if you are within 7 meters of the enemy. This does a lot of damage for us. It's one of our hardest hitting abilities. And as you're weaving those attacks, you should be able to fire off, I would say 2 on your front bar within every rotation. And then of course, Killer's Blade. This is our execute. You thrust a caustic blade with a lethal precision, stab an enemy dealing 4.2k disease damage and deals 300% more damage to enemies below 25% health. Heals you for 3.6k if the enemy dies within 2 seconds of being struck. A portion of the ability scales off your max health. Camouflage Hunter here is kind of a flex spot. You don't have to have it on your bar. You can put Vigor here if you want. So I'm not. You can either put Vigor on your front bar or your back bar. That's entirely up to you. But right now, I haven't really had too many issues with the healers that I'm running with, so I haven't had to put Vigor on. But when I do, I tend to swap it out on the back bar, though. Now, while we're running this, while slowing, you gain Major Savagery, increasing your weapon critical rating by 2.1k. You also gain Minor Berserk for 2 seconds after you deal critical damage from an enemy's flank, increasing your damage done by 8%. So because this is going to lower their resistances as long as we hit them from the flank, this is going to give us Minor Berserk, or going to increase our damage by 8% as long as we hit them, as long as we're hitting from the flank. So, and then we have Dawnbreaker on our front bar. Arm yourself with Meridia's Sacred Sword and dispense a Retribution into 10.6k physical damage to enemies in front of you and an additional 12.6k physical damage over 6 seconds. After activating, your weapon damage is increased by 300 for 20 seconds. To be honest with you, we're really not going to use this ultimate. It's there for an AoE type thing. But when it comes to fighting the bosses, and we're on the bosses, we're going to be using our back bar ultimate more than anything else. So, back bar. Poison Injection. Shoot an arrow coated in Mandara poison at an enemy, dealing 4k poison damage and additional 8k poison damage over 10 seconds. Deals up to 100% more damage to enemies under 50% health. Endless Hell. Launch a multitude of arrows into the sky to rain down, dealing 1.3k physical damage to enemies in the target area every 1 second for 12 seconds after a 2-second delay. Now you can use, I like Endless Hell here because it allows me to spam a couple bit and it tends to work well with the rest of the stuff. But you can go Arrow Barrage. It only lasts for 10 seconds, but it does do a little bit more damage. But Endless Hell, it allows me to get more off, which is what I'm wanting. And then, Leeching Strikes. Imbue your weapons with Soul Stealing Power, causing your light and heavy attacks to heal you for 1.4k health and restore 106 stamina for 20 seconds. Fully charged heavy attacks restore twice the value. You restore up to 4.2k additional stamina when the effect ends based on the length of time Leeching Strikes was active. So you want this to run the entire 20 seconds, if you can help it. Like if you need that last bit of stamina during the execute, by all means pop it a little early, but try to let this run out for the 20 seconds before you rebuff it. Barb Trap. You're going to set a trap. When triggered, the trap deals 4k physical damage to an additional 9.6k physical damage over 12 seconds and grants you minor force, increasing your crit damage by 10% for the duration. So keep in mind this lasts for 60 seconds, but you're going to want to reapply it every 12, or 12 to 13 or so. Camouflage Thunder on back bar again. Now, like I was saying again, this will be your flex spot. You can put Vigor on your back bar if you wanted to. End cap. This is the main ultimate you're going to use when we're just going after a boss. When you first pull, just to trash mobs, by all means hit Dawnbreaker there just for that AoE damage. But End cap will be the main ability you use on bosses. Ravage an enemy with a swift strike, dealing 13k disease damage, causing them to take 20% more damage from your attacks for 6 seconds. If cast with 120 or more ultimate, the enemy is stunned for 3 seconds while slotted. You gain Reeve, which restores 100 magic and stamina when you deal damage with a light or heavy attack on an enemy with a negative effect on them. So, if you wanted to, you can have this pretty much on both bars. Because this right here increases your weapon and spell critical rating by 430 for each assassination ability slotted. And End cap is an assassination ability, so if you wanted to, you could put it on your front bar as well, or not. It's up to you on how you run that, but you can literally run End cap on your front and back bar and be just fine. So, now, when it comes to rotation, first you're going to want to buff up. And then your Barb Trap, Endless Hell, Poison Injection, Fire Swap. And then at this point you should have a bow, so you would proc it. Get off one more. And then you would just keep it going. And then that's it. It's really simple. Use your ultimate as you get them. As you can see, that was Red Mountain proccing. As you can, let me go ahead and do this real quick. The little green sword there, the very first one, that is Viper ticking. As you can see, it will proc every time you use this. So there is no cooldown. So, it'll proc off of Rendings. If I'm not mistaken, I think it will proc just off of melee attacks, as you can see. And then at the same time, it will see. So, Viper procced. So it's really all there is to it. It's very simple, very easy. If you wanted to, you can have it on your front bar, and I do believe, see, it's not going to proc off of any of your bow abilities, because it's got to be melee damage. So keep that in mind. It's going to proc off your light attacks from either your two-handed or your light, rending slashes, or this. That's it. Very simple. But, something interesting. Red Mountain here will not proc. There it goes. So you can proc Red Mountain off your light attacks and off of heavy attacks. You can proc it off Endless Hell, Poison Injection, and Rending. So as long as you keep them up, Red Mountain will proc pretty consistently. And when it hits, it's a pretty decent sized dot. So, old school setup, old school sets. I still enjoy using them. I still enjoy running them. And I hope y'all will get some enjoyment out of them too. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe for the next one so you can be notified when the next video comes up. And as always, have a great day.